Hey, what is up you guys? I am here with a tutorial on a DIY on how to do a mini saddle made out of paper. So as you see here, we got some stencils. These are actually from, you can check them out on IG. It's called Camera 60 Studio, or you can go to their website at www.camera60.com and you can check out the tutorials and download their stencils. So I'm going to show you how this is done. And the first beginning clips that I'm showing you here is basically all the stencils that I had downloaded and cut up. The full-blown tutorial will start now. So the tools you'll need is a shopping bag or a box, stencils, the X-Acto knife, scissors, and glue. First, what you want to do is map out your stencils to see where you want parts of your saddle to be. For me, I wanted the Dior wording to be on the top of the saddle flap. So right now what I'm doing is I am cutting up the bag in half because really all it takes is half of this tall shopper. So make sure you do cut out your stencils. I used a thicker paper to print out the stencil portion of it, so that's why it's not as flimsy, but feel free to use regular paper. What I am doing now is taking the stencils and cutting out parts of the shopper. I'm really trying not to waste any parts of the shopper since this was a holiday packaging, and I'm sure if you could make more than one, that'd be great. Also, you don't have to worry too much about cutting the saddle so perfectly because you are able to trim it a little bit as you go. As I cut out the side panel strips, I realized that I liked it better when I had actually did a long strip as opposed to the two short strips. Do what you want, but I do feel like doing it longer makes the bag actually look much more seamless, and you will probably see how that looks like at the end of this video with the completed 3 that I had made. I also decided to use my Be Cause charm that I got from Dior last year instead of using the cutout. Feel free to do that as well, or you can add in any other charm if you like, but since if it's going to be your first, I would say maybe follow along with the stencils. After cutting out all of my stencils, I am now folding all of the papers that needed to be folded so that I have the indentations ready for piecing my saddle bag together. Long side strip, I realized that it is easier and more flexible if you cut little triangles about ½ an inch away from each other, just so it has some flexibility to your saddle. You will see me flex it here. To cut out parts of the saddle bag, I use an X-Acto knife. Not everybody has this. Feel free to use it if you do, but if you do, please be careful. Cut away from yourself because it is extremely sharp. Use a thick cardboard so you do not cut anything underneath, like furniture or rugs or anything. But if you do not have one, I guess the best thing to use is a scissors, just very carefully. Now it's time to put our saddle bag together. I luckily have paper glue. However, I think any type of glue might work as long as you are careful. So what you're going to do is glue the triangle cutout portions of the side saddle part, and you're going to do one at a time. Be very careful on how you glue it on. You want to make sure that it's as close to the edge of the saddle pieces as possible. Again, you are able to trim parts of the saddle bag that are sticking out. You'll see me have it towards the end of the video. Make sure you are also giving it time to dry as well before you stick on the other part. Now that our saddle bag has been dried, now it's time to do the flap part. I just realized that there is a cutout on the back saddle flap portion and that you were able to stick the flap inside. However, I just glued it on. Both honestly does work the same. It's just for aesthetic and more cleaner look, it's probably better to cut it. So make sure you glue the back part, which is the last part of the folded crease. And you're going to make sure you put that on and hold it while it dries. And ta-da! The main part of your paper Dior saddle bag is completed. Now on to the final touches, which are the two parts that stick out and it has that tag on. So I had said in the beginning that I'm using my Because bag charm. I know that they had came out with star versions. If you have that and it works, feel free to use that as well. But because this has a wing, it's easy. So you make sure you glue one of the parts, the little strap parts, on to the B or your tag. And voila, you guys should be done with your saddle bag. And this is my very first one that I had made here. And you see the cut on the bottom. That is because I did the two cutout strips. But I thought I did a really good job. I loved it, so I made a second one here. And I even was able to use the ribbon as a strap. So I had that as a crossbody strap, which actually worked out really well. So this one came out really nicely as well. And this is the final product for the one that I made here. I didn't have the time to put the straps on it, but the Cause B actually held on pretty nicely. It still is on there and did not come out. These are such cute pieces. I'm going to put them on my wall as art. I didn't have the chance to trim it yet, but again, I told you guys you're able to do that as soon as your glue and everything has dried. And that is it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much to Camera 60 Studio for sharing that stencil with us. And I am having so much fun making these little saddle bags. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You guys are the ELLEST.
She likes chocolate covered strawberries and wine. She likes notes that say I love you all the time.